Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you how to cheese the boss Judge Cleric, the Radiant Sentinel in Lords of the Fallen 2023. So this boss is quite a challenge. It's the most difficult near the end, so near the start we're going to be focusing on getting in close and dealing damage, but the way that we're going to cheese this boss is by using throwables. Now, I'll get to that in a moment, but the first phase is the best phase to use the Umbral Lamp to rip out its soul, as it's going to be bragging a little bit, laughing at your character, and the attacks are a little bit slower and less damaging. So I would recommend doing it now while you have a chance, but the way you can cheese this boss is by to use throwing items. I'm using the Bloody Hatchet there, which does a bit of bleed damage, but there's a few other ones that you can grab and use. I would recommend using something that's not holy damage and not fire damage, as both of those are going to be somewhat weak against the Judge Cleric, as they have two forms, the first one being mostly holy, the second one being mostly fire. I did not know there was a little bit of an area of effect there, so I got hit by it, but this is when the second phase of the first part of the boss fight happens. It's roughly when it loses a quarter of its health, it's going to start imbuing all of its attacks with holy and leaving the holy thorns around your character. So get to chucking those hatchets or whatever throwing item that you have. I like the hatchet because it does interrupt the character as well as deals a bit of extra bleed damage. Now, if we're in close, we may as well use our weapon if at all possible. But when we're at slight range, I would recommend just throwing the throwables. Now, throwables aren't perfect. Sometimes you're going to miss them, and that's just part of it. You have to time it a little bit with these throwables, since they do take a bit of time to carry to the enemy. Now, it would be useful to have a bunch of ammo pouches on your character. That way you can replenish these, as it's going to be quite a few throwables that it needs to take out this boss. I got lucky there again. I don't know why I did it twice, but sometimes the input lag happens, and yeah, we were able to damage it again, get it down to about a quarter health now. The second phase, it has much less health, so that's one nice thing about it, is if you're finding the first phase a little bit difficult, the second phase might be a little bit easier for you. Now, most of the attacks can be dodged pretty easily by dodging to the side. I did it again there with the wrong item. That attack is pretty easy. When you see it charging up, you know it's going to do this attack where it has the wave, and then it also has those arrows raining down on it. So yeah, we're just going to focus on trying to get this last chunk of health down, since we're close to that second phase where some of these attacks just don't happen, and it makes it a lot easier. I was able to pull it off with the throwables there, and then we get to the second phase where it's mostly fire damage. So the nice thing is, I found I was able to get quite a bit of health down just by chucking the hatchets during this first phase of the fight. I got 2,000 damage almost done already. Now, you can avoid this attack by running far away. This attack is its most damaging, and it can kill you in one hit because it goes out and then it comes back in, hitting you twice. So again, just focus on those rolls, get the hatchets in whenever you can. Try to stick at a bit of a range from this boss, as it does do quite a lot of damage. I'm using whatever items I can. I found that bleed damage did pretty decent, so I stuck with that, since she has been staggered a lot with these bloody hatchets and it's been doing a lot of damage. Now, this attack here is where things get a little bit frustrating, where she starts to attack the ground. They are telegraphed though, so just be mindful for little glowing embers on the ground like that. Roll out of them, because that's probably the best way to avoid damage. I almost got down here, so that was not too great, but yeah, continue to throw hatchets when possible. She's a lot more quick. Just focus mainly on dodging these attacks, so that's really going to be the way to win this fight, as she's going to be wearing your health and heals down, so it's best to just avoid some of these attacks if at all possible, because they have a large area of effect, and that's what makes it so challenging. So we're now in our Umbral phase. There's no extra bonuses for being an Umbral for this boss, so that kind of sucks, but big thing to notice is where those attacks are landing, and just keep a bit of a distance from her. She throws those fireballs down and the fires explode backwards. I got hit by one of them, lost half my health, so don't do what I did there and get hit by that. It's going to damage you a lot. Now, this was another risky play there, trying to get greedy and swinging a couple times too extra. The attacks, again, will have a range come out of them, so watch out for that. It can deal a lot of damage and take you out relatively quickly. It seems like 3 attacks is roughly all you can survive from this boss in the second phase, so yeah, don't be hit by any of those attacks. If possible, try to roll through them. I got lucky there with those fire area of effect damages, but that's how you cheese the Judge Cleric, Radiant Sentinel, and Lords of the Fallen. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button below. Thanks so much for watching.